Now that we have these advancements in science, the question of how to use it is a hotly contested one. Here to discuss this morning is Rosario Isasi. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's get started, and can you just share your insights on what are some of the ethical, legal, and social implications of genetic research and how it should be properly used?
So first, let's start by saying, what is this field of a study? What is ELSI? We hear all the time, and we sometimes don't know how to define what those implications are. The main focus is in how science and technology impact society. And our particular focus is how genomics and genetic technologies could have and should have a beneficial effects at the population level. So what are those ethical implications are enormous. What are the social implications? It varies depending on the areas we choose to focus on.
So as you know, you mentioned you're an expert in genetics, law, and policy. What do you think are some of the legal and regulatory challenges that geneticists face that still need to be addressed?
So the first one is, and I think it's the focus of the ELSI field of study in being prospective. So for a foresight approach, identify, evaluate, and address actual potential or current issues that might arise that will have these societal consequences. From a legal and an ethical point of view, the perennial question is how ethics and policy can evolve at the same pace as scientific developments and at the same pace that societal debate and engagement takes place.
So how can we take, I guess, all of this genetic information that we are gathering at a very rapid pace and use that to maybe address some health disparities or help with health equity?
First, the way it's collected, stored, distributed, and used has to reflect the needs, the priorities, the concerns of the broad community. We normally call stakeholders, I mean, patients, research participants, policymakers, scientists, etc. It has to be in a way that reflects in an equal manner in the same way the benefits, but also mitigates the harm. So we always say maximize utility, minimize harm.
So given that concern, as we look to the future, how can we hopefully ensure that the collection of all of this genetic data is being used for the betterment of society?
Yes, I think we need to safeguard it there. We have to have safeguards or tools at different levels, at the policy levels, that first ensures equitable participation in genomic research. Two is understanding and being responsible in how we portray the results of research. And third is engage the public. If we don't understand as a scientific society or the scientific stakeholders these notions and don't understand that we have to invite everyone to the table, we cannot combat mistrust and misinformation.
Do you think that we combat that through more stringent regulation?
Regulation is part of it, but more than regulation, I like to think of a whole policy system that is not only the law or what top-down approach, what the government will say, but also best practice. As a scientific society, ASHG is doing a great job in promote responsible communication of science, right? And trying to mitigate, if not prevent, misuse. But again, including all voices, including the public.
This is certainly a fascinating side to genetic research, and we really appreciate your expertise on it this morning. Thank you.